Some houses are born bad. It's a famous line. But when you really dig into it, it's about more than just a spooky feeling.
Oh, completely. It's this idea that they don't just, stand against the elements. They actively oppose sanity. They oppose order.
They become traps, living, breathing traps. And according to this incredible stack of source material we've just immersed ourselves in, all this documentation detailing decades of, psychological assault, Hill House is the worst of them all.
It is. It's a profound claim, almost primal, but it's one that the original accounts just immediately validate.
Yeah.
I mean, the sources present the house not merely as a backdrop for the fear, but as the central malevolent character itself.
Yeah.
It's a structure where the very foundation, the design, is intended to generate chaos.
So we're basically plunging straight into a world where architecture is quite literally weaponized against the human mind. Absolutely. So for you, our mission today is a bit complex. We're going to conduct a truly deep dive into this legendary haunting. And we're not just focusing on the spine-chilling stuff, the banging and the whispers.
Though we will get to that.
Oh, we will. But we really want to understand the narrative blueprint, the structure that turns a building into an antagonist, and most critically, how profound isolation becomes the house's deadliest, most targeted psychological weapon.
And our source material is exhaustive. It lays out the full, disturbing story, detailing the core participants, charting the escalating psychological terror, and it all drives toward this chilling conclusion.
It really does.
It's the story of a house that watches, that waits, and that very deliberately chooses its victims. And it's not based on chance. It's based on their deepest, most exposed vulnerabilities.
Right. So we're going to uncover how Hill House's strategy is so much more nuanced than just, simple supernatural activity.
It's a calculated, patient, and frankly, ruthlessly effective psychological maneuver. And it's all designed for permanent possession.
The genius of the documentation we have is that it essentially reverse engineers the haunting. It shows us exactly why Hill House worked. And to understand that, we have to start with the environment. Okay, so let's unpack this blueprint for terror. We really have to start with the physical reality, the setting itself, because the source material makes it abundantly clear.
It does.
The landscape is the first weapon that Hill House uses. The house stands completely alone. It's described not just as remote, but as being miles from the nearest town.
And that's not just a detail, is it? That's engineered isolation.
Engineered, that's the perfect word. The implication is immediate. You can't just walk to safety. You can't rely on outside help that's going to arrive quickly or, maybe even at all.
That physical separation is, it's the essential precondition for everything that follows. It acts as this massive psychological weight.
How so?
Well, it strips away that immediate buffer of society, of community, of any kind of external validation. You're completely on your own. But what's fascinating here, and what the sources really dig into, is that the physical description of the house itself immediately signals that the danger is inherent in its form, not just, residual from past events.
Right. It's not just old, it's wrong.
Exactly. The sources meticulously detail the construction. They note the house was built 80 years ago, but, and this is the key phrase, every angle of the mansion is slightly wrong.
Slightly wrong. It's such a subtle, almost throwaway phrase, but it injects so much foundational horror into the environment, it implies a kind of structural madness.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, a slightly wrong angle suggests architectural, non-Euclidean geometry. It's a design that consciously defies logic, spatial reason, and natural human perception.
So you walk in and you immediately feel off balance, even if you can't say why.
You do. I mean, think about what a standard house provides you. Gives you safety, predictable structure, a clear sense of vertical and horizontal rest. A house with wrong angles, where walls don't meet at 90 degrees, it signals a lack of sanity.
Yeah, inherent danger.
It's fundamental chaos built directly into the structure. So the physical building itself isn't structured to respect human comfort or logical movement or sanity. It's designed to disorient on a subtle, constant, nerve-fraying level.
So the house itself is actively working against your equilibrium from the second you step inside.
Yes.
And we get specific, chilling examples of this. The initial notes detail doors that seem to close themselves without any air pressure, rooms that subtly tilt over the course of the day, and these long, long hallways that turn into traps just by confusing your sense of distance and direction.
It implies the original architect wasn't just eccentric. They were designing a structure that actively and permanently opposes human mental and physical stability. It's hostile by design.
Which is why the house has to be considered the fifth character. It's the fundamental primary antagonist.
It's not a passive receptacle of bad energy. It is structurally, actively hostile. The wrong angles mean that when a victim like Eleanor, as we'll see, tries to use logic or her senses to escape, or even just to understand what's happening, the physical structure itself betrays her.
You can't trust the floor beneath your feet.
Or the straightness of the wall next to you, or the door you just closed. This architectural flaw is the psychological groundwork. It's laid deliberately before any ghosts or poltergeists even make an overt appearance. You are physically incapable of resting or feeling secure.
It sounds like the ultimate stress test for the nervous system. And speaking of stress tests, we have to look at how this investigation, this deep dive into chaos, even began.
Right, the catalyst.
We're introduced to the organizer, Dr. John Montague. He's a scholar of the supernatural, and his goal is very clear. He wants to rent the house for the summer to document real supernatural activity.
Which sets this very clinical, almost academic framework for what rapidly turns into a devastating emotional tragedy.
The intention is scientific, but
the methodology is fatally flawed.